We're live. I do believe we're live. Good morning, one and all. I'm being a bit lazy this morning. I couldn't be bothered to edit it. I got up a little bit late. First time in ages. Got up a little bit late. Myself and Gio are doing a video at 4:30, I believe. I don't know if it's a secret or not. We're doing a watch along at 4:30 on a historical game. I won't say what it is just in case Gio wants to do his bits and pieces promoting it. That's going to be over on the main channel. So we're doing the full match on that. So I just thought I'd jump on here, save myself the editing, open the live chat. I can see people in there. Hello, Rick. Hello, Richie. Open up the live chat and just talk about the subject, the bit of news that I thought was probably worthy of a video today. It's funny actually. It's quite easy for some news to slip under the radar, particularly when the big stuff is out there. When you're looking at Sky Sports News and you're looking at the reports that Darth Vader's about to take over Newcastle United and they're about to sign Maradona, Pele, and Roy of the Rovers. It's easy to forget the small stuff, but the small stuff is often the most important, really. Now, this is the bit that got me, which is the Premier League will not be finished. Well, if it's not finished before the end of September, it's going to be null and void. Now, that I thought was a big story. Because September feels like a long way away, right? But it's not. It's really not, particularly not when you're looking outside the sun shining today. It's looking like it's creeping into summer anyway. And September's just the end of the summer. Now, what I was looking at here, I was thinking, well, hold on a second. It ties in with another story, which Karen Brady put out yesterday, and it was about the logistical problems of putting together a game at the London Stadium, even behind closed doors. And the more I looked at it, the more I thought, well, this surely can't happen between now and September. It also ties in with an announcement from the World Health Organization yesterday. Again, it sort of slipped under the radar. And the announcement was, there is no guarantee whatsoever that if you've caught this disease, that you can't catch it again. Because that blows everything out of the water. Because for quite a long time, we've been acting on the premise that if you get it, you can then get back out into society. You get a test which shows you've had it. And then you can go back out into society and fine. Apparently not. Apparently you may well be able to get it again. And the point is they don't know. And this is the World Health Organization. If they don't know, nobody knows. So it sort of ran along the lines of, if you were Callum Hudson-Odoi, and I use him because we know he's had it, he's safe to go back and play football. So Callum Hudson-Odoi could mix with somebody that's then tested and hasn't had it. Well, no. Now it seems that he can't. Now, it's very confusing, but this is why the football shouldn't be on anyway, because there's not enough medical evidence. You could put everybody in this petri dish, basically, which is what all the footballers would do, with little or no knowledge of what's going to happen, and they could all get ill, or some of them could get ill. I mean, it only takes one person to get seriously ill, and this whole thing is not only null and void, but a bit of a moral disaster as well. Now, let me just read you what Karen Brady had said. If I can find it. Oh, again. Karen Brady said, empty London Stadium could need 500 staff. I'll go to the live chat afterwards. We'll have a little chat as well. But he says, West Ham Vice Chairman Karen Brady claims the London Stadium could still require up to 500 staff to open behind closed doors, may I say. In Baroness's Sun column, in which she said, everyone at the stadium, and even behind closed doors, this is about 300 to 500 people, including staff, medical officers, players, referees, and media, will have to have temperature checks, fill out health questionnaires, and observe social distancing. Right, I mean, before I even get to the rest, let's just look at that. First of all, the temperature check, it means nothing. It's an indicator that you might have it, but there are still a lot of people who don't have a high temperature but still have it. So you could pass this test. They put the thing on your forehead. They give you the temperature check. It might be manifested in sort of different ways. It might be the sore throat. So that doesn't work. We will have to have temperature checks, fill out health questionnaires, and observe social distancing. Well, how can you? How can you possibly observe social distancing? And I don't just mean the players. That much is obvious. It's a contact sport. How can you play a game of football staying 2 meters away from each other? I don't think they would implement that, because clearly that wouldn't even be a game of football. It's a contact sport. So I think they're thinking that the 22 players out on the pitch can have contact with one another. But it goes back to the old thing, which is the players aren't going to want to do that. So let's go on to what else is said on there. It says the former Olympic Stadium is so large, a structure needs a large number of facilities, management and maintenance staff. Add that to the groundsman and security. Well, I guess security would be very minimal because they just close off the building, and once you're in, you're in, and once you're out, you're out. Let's be fair, they got security at my local supermarket at the moment to make sure people go in one at a time and stuff like that. Security, I don't think, is the big one if you're not letting fans in. It said the players, medical and backroom staff could easily reach 100 for both teams and media. Both TV and print would account for large numbers of people also, with all games televised live. Now, the media thing's an interesting one because even at the Prime Minister's daily press briefing, yes, I know the Prime Minister's not taking it at the moment, but a Downing Street 5 p.m. daily briefing, the journalists aren't even allowed in that. Now, I would argue that is a more important broadcast than the football. Clearly, it's not one we want to see. We want to see the football more than the whatever, Dominic Raab or whoever talking to us daily. But it's more important. So if the journalists are not allowed there because they don't feel that the 2 metre rule is safe enough, why on earth would they let journalists up into a football stadium? It says, the article finishes by saying whether the West Ham owners and or Brady herself will be allowed to watch in person is unknown. Would you want to? I mean, that's the other thing. If you were Karen Brady, would you want to? If you were David Gold, you'd definitely want to. They wouldn't want to. David Gold's, 84 years of age? He is definitely, and he's been in really poor health. I think a lot of David Gold's health concerns have not really been made public in recent years. David Gold is not a well man, and he's in his mid-80s. He wouldn't go. How could it be ridiculous for him to go there? Because it only takes one of these 500 people who are supposedly in the stadium to have somebody at home who might have caught it. And then it's all gone. It can just all spread. What else? Sorry, what does it say? The government is likely to give specific guidance on limiting the number of people in a sports setting while still encouraging social distancing amongst non-playing staff. Well, that's interesting. I can't see that. The government is likely to give specific guidance. What, just for sports? I would understand that the government, there would be some desire within the government to get some of the sporting calendar up and running because they care about sports. No, but because they know people are bored at home, because they know it might be some sort of distraction. But it's going to be well down the list of their priorities. It really is. It really is. It looks like a lot of the medical equipment, a lot of the PPE stuff, because it's all made abroad. Everyone in every country in the world wants it because we've just reached, I think it's 2.5 million global cases. Everybody wants this stuff. Everyone wants the gloves, the masks, the goggles, all of that stuff. It looks like that's running out globally. That is a far bigger concern. They're trying to get factories to make this stuff. They're trying to get stuff to nurses and doctors and frontline staff and key workers. They're not. I just think when that phone call comes through, and whatever, it's the Home Secretary, and you know, his PA turns around to him and says, "Oh, Home Secretary, it's the Premier League on the phone again." He's probably thinking, "No, I'm not dealing with that now." And it says specific guidance limited the number of people in a sports setting, while still encouraging social distancing amongst non-playing staff. I think there's still this belief in sport, and I still think they're operating in a bubble, and I still think that they are not. They just don't have a grip on reality. They don't quite appreciate that they are not important than the rest of stuff. They really don't. I still think there's as I say, they're almost operating in La La Land, that they think, well, whatever happens, the season's going to get finished. I don't think it is. If that's correct, if it does look like it's going to be September, and what they're saying is, if it ain't done by September, then it ain't going to get done at all. Then how can it? I don't understand. The numbers are down. You know the old chart thing? I don't know why I did the noise. The old chart thing. They say the peak is flattening. It's only flattening because everyone's indoors. When they let people out, and by the way, letting 500 people in a stadium is letting people out. Okay? Because Because if that is the truth, by the way, let's take it to 300, shall we? And actually, you put it over the whole football calendar, every club. Then, if every club has that, then that's 6,000, isn't it? Over 20. Obviously, I only play half of that with because there's 2 teams playing in one. But you understand what I'm saying? Well, that's lots of people out. The moment you let a lot of people out, it starts going like that again. It starts going like that. So I think all they're doing at the moment is just trying to protect the NHS. When they say protect the NHS, it's easy to get back to think of cliches and think, well, yeah, we all do it and we all go out and we all clap and so on and so forth. We understand it more than most in this house. We really do. But what does it actually mean? I'll tell you what it means. It's making sure there's enough beds. That Nightingale Hospital, funny enough, they're building them all over the place. They're actually, obviously, they've got one up at the Excel Centre. They're building one not far up. They're building a new building up near Ascot, which ain't far from me. They're building a new one up there. All these things are being built, not for now, right? These things are being built for when they let people out again and the curve goes up. Probably at the moment, all the hospital beds, the NHS, they're taking over wards. In my wife's one, they've taken over a lot of the wards which are there for other things. They've cordoned half of them off and they're using them to combat all this stuff. They're dealing with corona and all the rest of it. They're dealing with it. They've taken all the private hospital beds as well. That's coping at the moment. So what they want is just a trickle going in. But they need more. So what they need is basically another 20,000 beds. And that's what they're getting all the stuff in for when they let people out again. It's going to go up. They're going to let people out. It's going to go up. And then we're all going to be back in again. I cannot see it happening. And, well, there's 2 things, obviously, pertinent to West Ham. Number 1, we don't get relegated. Now, bearing in mind everything I just said about people dying and all the rest, it ain't nothing to celebrate. You know what I mean? It's not worth making a song and dance about on that. But we are a West Ham channel, and that's the subject at hand. It also means we're not going to see each other for a long time unless it's over on this camera. By the way. Oh, I would love. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love to go to a game of football. I would love to go down the boats. I see the sunshine out there. It's a nice day today. Miserable, cold and wet yesterday. Today's a nice day. I imagine myself down the boats, chatting to me mates, burger in my hand, drink in the other hand. No, I've only got 2 hands. That's it. Yeah, burger and drink. That's all I can manage. Chatting with my mates, going into the grounds. You know what? I would love it. And a lot of my gripes and my issues around the ground, around the club, seem a bit insignificant at the moment, basically. So I'd just be happy to go there. I really would. But I don't think we're seeing each other for a long time, folks. Unless it's on this webcam, I can't see the games happening at all. I really, really can't. I mentioned earlier. Did I mention earlier on in the week about and as I say, I know people at Heathrow. They furloughed a lot of their staff. I'm talking about BA here, by the way. They furloughed a lot of their staff. They've laid a lot off. International travel is going to be really, really difficult. They're trying to work out a way. Even Formula One at the moment. I don't really watch much of Formula One. Not as much as I would watch 20 minutes highlights of Formula One. I couldn't watch practice, qualifying, and whatever, the race and all the rest of it anymore. But I understand it's a big sport, and it's what a lot of people like it. Even they're a little bit more realistic than football, because you hear UEFA and FIFA. Oh, we'll postpone this, and we'll try and get the Champions League. You won't, as I've said before, you won't. The last ever restrictions that get lifted will be international travel, because that's what spread it in the first place. Okay, this is what spread it. All right. The whole reason SARS didn't become, there's 2 reasons why SARS didn't, the first SARS, this is the second one, the first SARS didn't become a global epidemic, was because, number 1, people were so sick, you got sick instantly. It didn't take you 10 days for the symptoms to show up. You got sick instantly. You couldn't get on a plane. You couldn't fly. So they were able to isolate it. But the other point is you couldn't fly, if you know what I mean. So you couldn't spread it around the globe. And it was very, very easy to identify that you were sick. This is different. You can look like you've not got it. You can hop on a plane. You can go and spread it. And you've seen the spread. You've basically seen the spread around the world. It's going to be the last thing that opens up. every country is going to have its own rules and things that you put in place. We're dealing with it slightly different to Italy. Italy's dealing with it slightly different to France. France dealing with it slightly different to America, so on and so forth. Even America's struggling because each state has got its own rules. My point is, it's going to be a long time until the whole global community comes together and agrees basically a set of customs rules that allow anything other than products to move internationally. They're not going to allow free movement of people between countries. They're certainly not going to allow a whole football squad and all its staff, we've heard from Karen Brady how many staff that is, to go flying around the world unrestricted. It's just not going to happen. FIFA, UEFA, forget it. And my point is what the Formula One have done. They've realised, actually, if we've got to run 3 or 4 races, why don't we just hold them all at the same track? Now, I still don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they're opening up Silverstone anytime soon. But the reason they would do that is even teams like Mercedes are based in the UK. I think even Red Bull, quite possibly, are based in the UK. McLaren are based in the UK. Obviously, Ferrari aren't. But a lot of the teams with the Formula One are based in the UK. So it makes sense that they would hold it here because they know, again, it's not going to be feasible. What a massive mission that is to get Formula One cars into a freight container, ship them across that. It's a big thing, Formula One all around the world. Even they're preparing, actually, when it does get up and running, we're not going to be able to put these things on in different countries. But football still is operating in, I think, in a bit of a bubble. I don't think it's quite realised exactly what's happening. Right, I'm gonna stick to the chat now. Anyway, let's have a little look and see what you're all saying. Everybody, very, very much welcome. I'm sorry I've missed all the top thing. I can't scroll down. Say me and Gio are doing a video later. What is going on here? I really doubt there'll be any Euro football next season, says Rick. Absolutely, Rick. So Rick and JG Ballard. Of course, we know JG as well. He says Denmark and Germany are beginning to relax things, so it could happen. Okay, they think it may well happen. Farcanel, I know a good man, a top man, by the way. He says, you're a top man. Please stick to the football. Not everyone has your view about the lockdown. Hundreds of people and police clapping outside of several hospitals on Thursday, all crowded together. Yeah, I've got to be honest, mate. I'm not just going to stick to the football. It's a subject, you know. It's pertinent to the football. I don't agree. Listen, you know this, mate. I've met you. You are more than welcome to send in a video if you want of your own opinions. I'll put it up there. No one's sending in videos at the moment. I'm not saying my opinion is gospel. Okay, what do I think about all the crowds stood together? They didn't look like they were 2 meters apart, really, did they? 2-3 meters apart. So, yeah, and you said just seen 2 planes in the air whilst this has been airing. Yeah, I live right near Farnborough Airport. We're seeing some private jets going to and from. I think you can still charter planes, but commercial airlines are gone at the moment. But yeah, if I'm just sticking to football and West Ham, then we're gonna have almost gonna have nothing to talk about as well. We're trying to be creative with what we put out. But we got a show later on at 4:30. Myself and Gio, we're doing a watch along. I won't say the game. It's over on the main channel. It's a historical game, a fun game. That'll just be West Ham. If you don't like all this stuff, switch off now. Tune into that. And there's a lot of West Ham stuff over on the other channel. And yeah, and there's a quiz as well. If you like any West Ham stuff, we've got a quiz. West Ham did a quiz. There's a lot of West Ham stuff out there. Okay. I wonder. If you don't tune into this channel, if you don't, sorry, I find it hard to stick to subjects, don't I? A bit silly over here. David Trevitt says, I read that Sancho wants Champions League guarantee from United. Bloke's dreaming there won't be any. Absolutely. You know, it is just that. You know what? We may be proved wrong. And I hope we're wrong. I hope there's Premier League football next month, in 3 months, Champions League. But I do think, that chat, let me just slow that down. I do think it's a long way off. JG Ballard said, Gonzo admit it would be funny if Liverpool were denied the title. Do you know what? I'm not that bothered about. I'm not. I think they deserve the title. I really do. I think worse than Liverpool winning the title, mate, would be Man City keeping it for a third season by default. Liverpool have won it. We all know that. For the integrity of the sporting competition, I think it's important that they do win it. Not important in terms of everything that we've been saying, but important. They earn it. We might, you might not like that they've won it. I don't have a massive issue with Liverpool, by the way. I think there's some. It's just, I think again, it's just sporting rivalries. I understand. I mean, there've been times when I might have denied Man United the title because I weren't happy with how some of their players or Fergie or whatever had acted. But you couldn't deny them the title in terms of their sporting brilliance. And Liverpool have been brilliant this season. Gio made the point the other day. He said Jurgen Klopp's bought no players, yet they still were dominant this season. So I wouldn't deny them the title. Give them the title. Look, a lot of people that don't like Liverpool don't like them because they moan a lot, right? And if that's the truth, you try and deny them the title. You look how much they'll moan then. I'll tell you what I would, if I was in their position and West Ham were 20 points clear in the Premier League and West Ham got denied the title, I would moan. I can tell you that. A lot, by the way. Andy, good morning, sir. I hope you are well. Andy Walsh there. Chris Green says until there was a vaccine, everything will be on lockdown. Social distancing measures, potentially all behind closed doors. I would add one thing to that, Chris, if I may. It doesn't just have to be a vaccine, all right? The vaccine will take a long, long time. Vaccines do. What they're talking about because my wife gets a lot of the NHS emails. And a lot of the stuff, the NHS are privy to a lot of the scientific research is what's going on. Because I think they're just trying to keep them motivated and keep them going. They're searching for a therapy as much as a vaccine. Some sort of therapy. I don't know what it might be. A tablet, it might be an inhaler, might be something that just reduces the symptoms by about 30%, something like that. That I think they could do sooner rather than later. What that would do, that would allow people to get out, because it would take away the fatal element of it. People would still get sick. You still get a cough and a cold and aches, shivers, whatever the case may be, but it wouldn't kill you, basically. Is the truth. And I think that's what they're looking for. I think if you get to that, it doesn't have to be a vaccine. If you get to some form of therapy, some form of medication, which makes it 30% better in the worst cases, they may well do it. They may well do it then. Christopher Perry says, interested to think how the players would travel to such games on a plane together, on a train or a coach. So not only are they exposed whilst playing, it is really true. That is really true, actually. I guess there'd be no planes for domestic competition. Maybe the players would have to drive themselves. Maybe that's how they'd do it. Tom Roberts says, if one player dies through football, if they played the season, that would be a disaster. I totally agree. Number one, it would be a travesty. It'd be incredibly sad. How would that player's family feel? Number two, because obviously they'd be able to spread it as well. They might spread it to others. Number two, how on earth? I mean, it'd be the biggest PR disaster. I think football's made an absolute PR disaster out of most. I've got to say, I wanted to say this before. What Watford are doing is amazing, by the way. Watford have given over... Watford are making thousands of meals each day. Actually, they're using all their catering department to make meals, which they're going and handing out to the NHS staff and the rest of it, because a lot of the NHS staff not getting a chance to have breaks and stuff. So what they're doing is they're bringing in meals. I think that's absolutely amazing. Chelsea are doing the same thing. Watford and Chelsea have both given up accommodation for the nurses to stay in. As I said, if you start showing symptoms as a nurse or anyone that works in a hospital, a key line worker, you go and stay there so you're not taking it back to your family. Really good. I mean, what Watford and Chelsea are doing is really, really good. Very impressed. And actually, my missus, Krispy Kreme had gone to her hospital because one of the head offices is not far from here. So my missus' hospital, Krispy Kreme, came up into the wards and basically gave loads of donuts to all the. It's a small thing, isn't it? But you know what? It's the little things like that which will lift your spirit. So there's a lot of companies come out of this whole thing with. I think with a lot of credit. Do you know what I mean? I just don't think football's one of them. I don't think football has quite got there, but there are exceptions. There are. I mean, look at Mark Noble. He gave 35 grand to charity. I think the other one I read was what's his name? Longshaft, Matty Longshaft, who I think is the younger one. he's on 850 quid a week. He's given part of his wages to the NHS. So he's not, it's not like he's a big earner, a multi-millionaire or anything like that. There are good stories within this. We know Marcus Rashford is one as well. So, but football by and large, particularly almost the higher you go, the more of a mess they make of it. Premier League, FIFA, UEFA, the television companies for threatening to sue the Premier League and stuff like that. BT pundits threatening to sue BT because they weren't getting paid for their jobs, which they weren't doing anyway. So I think from a PR standpoint, there's been a lot wrong with what's going on basically in football. So sorry, what was that? That was Tom. It was Tom. JG's talking about the testing, the vaccine again. Tony says he's loving the content. Thank you, Tony. Look, mate, I'm trying. Sometimes it'll be good, sometimes it'll be bad. I'm trying to get something there every day. I had a lovely letter the other day. But a few messages, a really lovely letter. I won't say details from Peter. So hello, Peter. By the way, thanks for the letter, mate. Wrote a letter to myself and Gio, and there's been a few people saying that their routine's gone. Work, everything else, football, just a lot. So they appreciate the routine of Hammers Chat constantly uploading. So this is why we're doing it. It gives us. It's not just listen. We're great. We want to get content out for you. It's good for us as well. It's good therapy. Gives us a routine. Do you know what I mean? Stops me having to deal with all the compost. You can't see it. It's over there. I've got a job waiting for me today. I'm not looking forward to it. The longer I stay in here, my wife knows. Don't disturb me when I'm doing a video. But she's already dragged. There's like the fork and the spade have already been dragged next to the flower bed. I've got a job to do. But anyway, I appreciate him, and thank you for your kind words, Tony. And I hope you're well, mate. Frank Burke says approximately 60% asymptomatic, no symptoms at all, but still infectious. Yeah, I mean this is it. This is exactly right. It's not obvious. The old red cross on the door when you got the plague, if you remember. It's not obvious when somebody has it. Brian says this season should be null and void. Next season will start when it's suitable. That's just it. If that's a sentence, I think that's it. That's the most sensible sentence there. I can't believe it. The chat's gone. The chat's moved right the way down. I do apologise. Where are we? I'm sorry. I'm having to scroll back up. I'm not. It jumped. It basically is this long list of chat, and it just jumps to the bottom. Where are we? Gary Smith said, what happens if you have 2 or 3 players who are symptomatic? Do you still play? Well, that's really interesting, isn't it? Imagine nobody's got it officially. Nobody's got the test. That's a really good point, Gary. So everyone's had the test. So there's all players on the pitch, but one of them has a cough and one of them has a runny nose. They've been tested, but it looks like they don't have it. Would you still play? Would it be worth the risk? I think it's an interesting point. Anyway, Peter said there's football will be on Sky TV, no live events plus make the money that's owed back. So look, at some point, an agreement, whether football's played, whether it isn't, at some point, television companies are going to have to make an agreement with football. Why? Because they're both going to need each other at some point in the future. There's no point suing each other and creating bad feeling, because at the point where things do get back up on track, they're going to need each other. And if you've created bad feeling, it ain't a good place to be to start negotiating and trying to get the best deal for yourself. If you've been shirty with someone and threatened them, basically. Rick's in the void now camp. He said season's over. Momentum has been lost. Yes, it is. Chris Myers agrees with Rick. Hello, Chris. Spells Chris the same as me. And Chris Ackerboos. Oh no, Chris Ackerboos got 2 S's. Christopher Simpson says Premier League are deluded if they think they can finish this season. Yeah, I mean, it says obsession for finishing. It stinks of corporate greed. Gary Smith has said legal issues from the clubs coming if you play or if you don't. You're right. If they finish the season, there's legal issues coming from the players. I'll get that. I'll do a video. Is it Sunday? Isn't it? Yeah, I'll do a video next week on the players threatening legal action. I think that's a story in itself. But he's right. Also, so if they do play, there's legal action. If they don't play, there's legal action. So I totally agree with that. Christian says Liverpool deserve it. Christian with a K, same as me. Probably didn't know that, did you? There you go. Norwegian name, by the way. Scandinavian name. Where are we? I can't speak any Norwegian or anything, by the way. Lovely place, by the way. fields, and what I'd do to travel. Honestly, I'll take a trip to the seaside, even just, I allowed it just for, I would even take, if I could just stay in my van and drive down the seafront with a window open, I'd take that at the moment. I think we're all, I think it's going to be a lot of, when this is lifted, I think there's going to be a lot of domestic holidays, a lot of people going out and enjoying the things that they previously haven't done. What would you do to go out of a meal? Got a pub around the corner, does wonderful roast dinners and a massive Yorkshire puddings. 50p, you get an extra one. What I'd do to go there and sit outside, the things that I've taken for granted, I would love to. I'd love to go down the beach. I'd love to go to Appledore. Someone knows what I'm talking about on here. Farcanel says, he says, I take your point, Gonzo. It's just difficult when you don't have the mainstream view. And he becomes reticent to comment, which is a shame. Look, let me tell you on that, right? Don't feel reticent to comment, all right? I don't let anyone in these chats get abusive of anyone else, all right? So if you have got an alternative opinion, let me tell you, my brother, all right? My brother thinks this is all a ruse, okay? And he constantly sends me things from David Icke and all this. I don't agree with him, all right? But I don't fall out with him, all right? I can't agree with him. My wife goes to the hospital clearly because my wife works in hospital. We have lots of friends. We have lots and lots of friends who work in hospitals. We see people getting sick. We see people getting upset. The guy that does a lot of our admin on the forum, his wife is also a midwife. She knows my wife. She's got very sick, by the way, and was really struggling through it. It's not that this is not this. What my opinion is different. My opinion is there is something happening. It is serious, okay. But I do appreciate that there's a lot of conspiracy, not just conspiracy theory. I'm not suggesting that you're necessarily conspiratorial about it, but there are people that think you should be getting out there. We should be getting on with it, and there are all sorts of opinions. I'm never gonna have a go at anyone for having an alternative opinion. What you've got to remember is that we come from a forum background. That we started in 2005, something like that. I started going on forums 2005, 2003. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The very premise of the forum. That's why I love forums far much than social media, not just ours. WA show, go on, Knees Up Mother Brown, fantastic forums. Because I like forums because you can disagree with one another. This is what we do. My mates that I go down the boats with, we've been disagreeing with each other for years, but we still go down there and have a drink. We disagree on all sorts of things. Football, music, politics, the lot. It's only very, very recent I've found that people get agitated. I blame social media for that, actually, that people are intolerant of another person's opinion. You are more than welcome to put your opinion on here, mate. And if I see anyone getting abusive towards you, I'll delete the comment. It's as simple as that, all right? So don't worry about it. Don't feel that you can't give your opinion, but I'm also not going to feel that I can't give mine. Clearly, obviously, I know I've got the platform, but I try harder than anyone to give anyone a voice on it. I let people send in videos, do whatever they want, and everybody is more than welcome. In fact, I'd love more videos sent in at the moment, but I understand there's not an awful lot to talk about, and not everyone has got verbal diarrhea like I have. Of course, I appreciate that. What else have we got? Alan says, although the players are paid vast wages, they're human beings and they need protection from the virus too. I wholeheartedly agree. And the one that resonated with me is, if you've watched it, was the Aaron Cresswell one. How he's got a 5-week-old daughter and he's petrified to go out. I totally understand it. I totally get it. When this thing started happening, the first thing you think about is your family and your loved ones. I thought, you know what? I'm going to see my mum for ages, and it's hard. It's really hard. I really want to go down and see my mum, really do. But you're trying to do what's best. It's going to be hard to stay motivated in the long term to just want to go down and see her. Give her a cuddle? No, you can't, and I hate that. And you know what? It does seem. It seems really draconian, and it seems like a very, very heavy influence by the state. But I do get it. I don't like it. I find it hard. I find it isolating hard. I find not seeing my family hard. I find not seeing my friends hard. Got very upset on a number of occasions. I'm not going to lie. I don't see me coming here and bouncing on a video. I ain't like that all the time. I'm really, really not. There have been I'll tell you now, the first time I went out, I was watching the news. I don't watch it much now, but to be honest with you, I find it quite depressing. I mean, it's the same. It's the same every day. Another similar amount of people have died, and so on and so forth. I watch the news twice a week, something like that. But the first time I went out and everyone was masked up and gloved up, and people were just walking away from each other, and everyone had their head down and no one was smiling. And I'm quite sociable. I talk to everyone, and I found it really hard. I came back and I said to my wife, I said, that's a struggle, and she's tougher than I thought I was. I thought I was quite mentally tough. She's tougher than me, my wife, because she can go and do all that stuff, and then she can come back. And fair play, honestly, fair play. I can't remember why did I get into that. Anyway, there we go. I don't Liverpool. Christian says I don't like Liverpool because 2006. Well, yeah, I obviously, me too, me too. Was so close. Anyway, season needs to be scrapped now. Says Chris. He's talking about a fund pit put in place to stop the lower leagues going under. Really important. People's community teams are really important. More than ever. Rest restrictions get lifted. You're not just going to be able to. Basically, you're not going to be able to get lifted, and suddenly everyone can fly to Barcelona and watch Barcelona Nou Camp or anything like that. They'll get lifted bit by bit. So you'll be able to go ever increasing distances. The first thing that's going to get lifted, you might be able to go and watch your local team. Will you be able to go on public transport and get the train up to London and travel on the tube to go and watch West Ham? Probably not. So actually, local teams, if it was open now, I would go down and watch my local team now. If that was on now, I'd absolutely take 90 minutes out, and I think it would be quite a nice day out as well. 200 or 300 people there. Now, community football clubs now mean stuff. Anyway, listen, I'm going to start wrapping this up. I got up late today, did I tell you? Anyway, naughty, very, very naughty, and I've got a lot of work to do out there. Brian Patterson said he thinks it's disgusting the Premier League is still pushing. David Stafford. Sorry, David. He said the one thing that's highlighted is the Premier League don't care about us fans. It's money. All I hear is how and when the season should finish. I thought they would start to realise that we're perhaps more important than they think we are, but I don't think they care about the players very much either. I think that's it. And don't get me wrong, I do think players should be taking a pay cut and not a pay deferral. There's things that I don't think the players are doing well, but I'm not sure how much football clubs care about the fans or care about the players. That being said, I have seen with the stuff from West Ham, I do think the football clubs care about their staff. Not all football clubs. I mean, press with Watford, press with Chelsea, press with what I've seen with West Ham's human resources taking care of their staff as well. So that's been quite good. Football as a whole, I don't think it's been great. But you will find individual cases certainly. Peter says no football for 2 years. Get over it. And I mean, look, whether it be 2 years, I don't know. I wouldn't place any money on any football being played. Have you guys watched a game without fans present? No, but they are talking about pumping artificial noise. We'll discuss that another time. Thought that was quite funny, by the way. And it's not been a funny video, really. Let's be fair. So yeah, sorry about that, but it's quite a serious topic. And what else we got? Well done to Watford. Yeah, crikey, I am behind on this chat. KP is hello there, mate. Is that AJ? I think that might be AJ there. Mark Weir says you can't award Liverpool the title, and everyone else is told the season is void. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It wouldn't seem fair, but I do think they're so far clear. I think if they were 5 points clear, I think no, you can't. I think 20 plus points clear. I think it's slightly different. Bill Gates' vaccine is already on the shelf. It will be available within weeks and mandatory. Mark my words. I'll tell you that I've seen the stuff. All right, I must say my brother sends it to me. A whole thing. There's a doctor talking about how this was all created so as people have been forced to take this vaccine, and I've seen it all, mate. I honestly, I have seen it all. I don't but I'm not overly conspiratorial. I'll tell you why very quickly. We went to when we were younger. We went to the observatory in, I think it was Winchester, and we went there just on we were doing something whereby you were just measuring. They were measuring how far the moon was moving away from the Earth each year. The moon moves something like 4 centimeters away from the Earth each year, something like that. And we were talking through it, and there's this whole thing set up there. So how do we know the Earth's moving? So he said, "Oh right, okay." When they did the Apollo missions, they basically put a mirror up on the moon. And the way we can tell is they would bounce. Basically bounce. I think it was a laser or radio, something. They bounce something off the moon, and then they collect the data there. And it turned out that whilst they were there, when the Apollo missions went up, obviously because of the Earth, when the US on the other side of the Earth, right, all the radio signals came from space, came from the Apollo, and came down to Britain, and then we sent them on to Houston, basically, because it was over the other side of the planet. So Earth here, moon there, and they're over the other side. They couldn't do it because they were over the other side. So it had all the stuff there, and it was just a really, really, and they had all the pictures of all the stuff up there on the moon. I saw this before I'd ever really seen any conspiracy about the moon landings didn't happen. It's not conspiratorial. It was just a silly little thing, and it was quite clear this stuff was up there. So I think the moment I saw the moon conspiracies, I sort of lost a little bit of I think I lost a little bit of faith really in any sort of conspiracy theories. Not just that one, and then there was the whole Roswell one, if you know. And then I just thought, well, hold on, if flying saucers are ever true, surely at the point where people got mobile phones with cameras on them, you'd see sightings just go mad, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? Well, then surely everyone had a camera, there'd be loads of pictures of flying saucers. Well, they haven't been. I'm not a great one for the conspiracy theory. Princess Di, JFK. JFK might have been one. I don't know. Lee Harvey Oswald. I look at them. I just don't necessarily believe them all, mate. And I'm not sure I particularly believe that this was manufactured. If it was manufactured, I don't think it's particularly effective, because I think the numbers are quite low for something to scare the whole planet permanently. I'm not so sure. Anyway, West Ham are giving Ann Summers discount cards, says Nigel. They're not. I've checked. We're so short on pasta. I'd even take the little rude ones from Ann Summers. Have you seen them? Okay, Andy doesn't want to give the title to Liverpool. I'm going to wrap it up now. And well, listen, thank you for joining me. Rick, excellent. He said that compost ain't going to shit itself, Gons. No, it's not. Thank you, Rick. It's not going to lay. Those plants are not going to lay themselves, are they? Bless you. Thank you. Let's finish off with with a laugh. So thank you very much for that. I'll try and produce something a little more uplifting tomorrow. Sorry, I'll just finish with Lee. Well, I might say finish with Lee. Give it 2 more minutes just quickly. Lee says, no bias, Everton fan here, and I think void the league this year. Well, who wants the Reds come to in the league, really? Okay, so Everton, the Everton fan, Lee, who's very welcome in the chat, by the way, does Liverpool to win the league. I'd always thought that was more of a friendly rivalry, Everton and Liverpool. I thought I don't know. So I thought sort of like Celtic and Rangers hate each other, but you'd sort of have a blue and a red in the same family. I thought whilst it was a rivalry, I want to beat each other. I thought the Liverpool one was a little bit more friendly. I don't know, maybe because the way the town, the city came together over Hillsborough and things like that. I don't know, but clearly, Lee doesn't agree. Lee doesn't want the red scum to win the league. TJ says, Ollie, I really feel for Leeds. I relish our rivalry on match days. The banter, the peace treaty is over. However, I feel bad for you and West Bromwich Albion. But Fulham, Brentford, Brentford, Forest, and Preston North End would get done bad. He's talking about Championship clubs not getting promoted. We can all, look, this, whatever happens, by the way, this ain't fair for somebody. What else we got? Which will be the first sport back that will not be behind closed doors? I don't know, but did I see something about actually you can play darts from home? I know you can play darts at home, but they could actually host it if they got the filming right and they sent them each person 3 cameras to set up. They could actually hold the darts tournament from home. There's no reason why they couldn't, and you could actually do it without. If with 3 cameras, they could make it so the person wasn't cheating. I thought that was quite interesting. I thought that's quite creative. Some people have been creative. For a first sport back, I'm gonna have to think about that one. Actually, I don't know. Lee says Moonland's another lie like COVID-19. Yeah, see, there you go. This is what I'm talking about. But I do like the programs. I do think they're quite good. I do enjoy them. I went up. I did a high atmosphere flight, an anti-gravity flight, probably about 10, 15 years ago. Amazing. Went up there, you could see the curve of the earth and everything. Amazing. Wasn't technically in space, but I'm telling you now, you looked up at space, do you know what I mean? And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I saw England. I mean, I saw the the bit where it goes down Cornwall and all the rest of it, and Bristol Channel up in Wales. I mean, it was crazy. It was mental. What an experience that was. Amazing, particularly for someone that's scared of heights. By the way, someone that's scared of heights almost leaving the planet was quite mental, really. But what an experience. And well, that's another one, isn't it? The flat Earths. It ain't. I've seen it. Okay, it definitely does that. By the way. That's another one. I'm not sure it's a conspiracy theories. We've done Netflix conspiracy theories. Maybe that's a video. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. Greg, bless you, my friends. Bless you. Where are we? Like and subscribe. Oh, I meant to say that. I never say like and subscribe. I'm under the impression that anybody watches this is possibly subscribed anyway, apart from the Newcastle fans. Everyone's gone. I can see everyone's leaving now, right? So basically, those of you that are left watching this video now are the hardcore. You're hardcore, basically. You stick with a Hammers chat until the end, right? You're the last people in the pub. When you're the last group. It's you there now. You lot watching this. So all the Newcastle fans that are having a pop. Obviously, I don't expect them to. Imagine me saying to them, "Oh, please subscribe." No, don't subscribe or come back. But I have been prodding them a bit because honestly, they threatened me. They wanted coronavirus. They hoped I died. Taking a mickey out my house, me hair, which is fine. Take me hair. Well, I've got me 4 eyes. I'm not. Wow. I didn't think people did that insult. I thought it was quite good actually. And Paul with his guitar. Oh, Jimi Hendrix there. I mean, I did think it was good values. But anyway, my point is, I don't. I sort of under the impression that, particularly all you that are left here now, you're already subscribed. So it's almost a point of saying, "Oh, please subscribe." You are subscribed. The only thing you might want to do is press the bell next to the subscribe button, because that just gives you a notification on your phone. But I'm guessing because you're here, you had the notification on your phone anyway. I don't know. I think you can have too many. You can have too many of the wrong subscribers. I've got the right. See, we can even have a healthy debate and not fall out. Look at us. I've not scrolled to the end yet. Someone might not like my flat Earth theory thing. JFK is still alive, but no longer Junior, as he has died, and we'll be seeing him soon. Do you know what we used to, when I was growing up? Used to get the newspapers, and there'd be an article. I say growing up, maybe not growing up, but a little bit later than that. You'd get the article saying Elvis is still alive, and working in a hamburger joint in Albuquerque, or whatever. Hitler's still alive. He escaped World War II, and he's working in a garden centre. There'd be things like that. So we sort of grew up with it. Mark, hello, Mark. Mark Weir there. Chris Green. They said, thanks, Gonzo, for answering my question. Your content has been keeping me sane. Good luck with the garden. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're very welcome. Henry. No, this is a Rode. This is a Rode NT USB. It's this microphone. It's not for me to say whether it's all right. You say whether it's all right. You're the ones having to hear it. It's I paid. It was quite expensive, but I basically bought a I bought one second hand on eBay, and this one, so I paid a little bit less for it. Someone else doesn't like Liverpool very much. Let's put it that way. Chris Waddle's penalty shot is about to hit the Andromeda Galaxy. I like that. I've been watching. There's been some quite funny WhatsApp videos and memes and gifs going around during this. Lincoln Harper said 9 data yesterday from the home data. So you got 9 data. Wow, that's impressive. That's but I'm sure you all know that's a 147 in snooker. And 9 datas. That's as low. That's as quickly as you can check out, basically. I've got a set of Phil Taylor's darts. Proper. I don't mean like the ones you buy that have Phil Taylor's name on them. I've got Phil Taylor's darts from a tournament in 2006. There you go. That's interesting. I'm not mad. I just got a bit of memorabilia. You know, and he basically he used to give his darts out in the board. He used to put 3 darts in the board and the board out. I got the board and the darts. I sold the board. Anyway, there we go. Many stories. Maybe Gonzo and Gio can play an online darts match. I've got a darts board and I've got darts, as I've just said. I'd be happy to. I don't know if Gio's. I'm not sure. Maybe I could set it up there. I'm sure I can find a way. So I'm not sure if Gio's got a darts board. What else you got? Could they play darts in your man cave? You could rent it out. There's no one. This is a it's a corona-free zone, the man cave, isn't it? Unless I've got it, of course, in which case it's not. It's an infection room. On your flight, did you see any balls from Antonio's shots, said Rick? And it was earlier than I'm sure Antonio was a twinkle in his mother's eye at that point. But he was. I doubt he was playing football at that point. Was he? I don't know. No, is the answer. I saw no footballs and no UFOs when I was nearly in space. Give it that. It's not thunder. That's my neighbour bringing their wheelie bin in. So that's about anyone that's here now. This is the worst content you're possibly getting, by the way. We're talking about footballs in space and my neighbour's wheelie bin. And there's still 180 people watching. You're mad, but I love you because you're hardcore, really. Let's be fair. Where's Joan? Joan's in. Hello, Joan. Plant some corn. Who says that? I can't even read that. That's all one word. Wallocum. Anyway, plant some corn. I'm not sure I can plant the corn because the bed is over that side. The flower bed, and the sun doesn't hit it. So I've got some ferns, I've got some lavender, and I've got some hoips. Hoips, that's how they say herbs in New York. Hoips. I've got some hoips, some sage, some oregano, some mint. You've got to keep the mint in its pot, otherwise it spreads and goes all mental. Sage, thyme, oregano, mint. But I think the corn needs sun, and it ain't getting any sun over there. Now I have bored you, and I've gained 6 more people watching live. We've got a live count. Gonzo, please, you and Gio, Burnley game, please, mate. We recorded it yesterday. Rob. Okay, so we recorded it. Yes, that's all I'm saying. Can't say any more, my friend. England could follow a German model, as is from Forever Blowing Bubbles, where the season ticket holders can purchase cardboard cutouts to be placed in. That's not right, is it? Is that a story? Is that true? It's a joke. Surely it's a joke. Surely it's a joke. Must be a joke. Go shovel shit, Chris. She will kill you. I've not even had me breakfast yet. And that's terrible. What else we got? Road is a good quality. Yeah. Oh, Super Stubbies. That's Matt. We know Matt. He's Super Stubbies. Matt is the guy that has done the last 2 vlogs, the match vlogs, with his son. Oh, Isaac, maybe? Sorry if I got that wrong, Matt. I think. Anyway. Oh, blimey. What's happening in the chat? Stop it. They could play snooker. We can't play. There's no room for a snooker table in here. I don't know. It's funny because there's a camera. That's actually, I was going to work out. I know exactly how big it is from there to there. From here to that wall where the eye is, it's 4.2 meters. There's no room for a snooker. You wouldn't get there. You'd have to have a very small queue. You'd be like that. Know what I mean? Like that. Little queue like that. No good, would it? Luke from the Free Hammers. I am very well, Luke. I am very well. I've got to tell you, I got a notification on your video 6 days after you filmed it. It came up. It came up yesterday, and the video came up. It said it was 6 days ago. When you're on your own and you're answering the questions. So now it was nice to talk to everybody without Paul and Lee there. And you got someone asked you a question. Could you teach PE from home? Which I thought I was brilliant. That was a brilliant question. And you answered, of course, no. There we go. Anyway, I'm well, mate, and I hope you're well too. D. Lee, he was once probed by an alien. Maybe it means interrogated. Or maybe it does mean probed. You don't. Oh, my goodness. The level of content goes down. Lincoln Harper says, no, not me, Gonzo. Luke Woodhouse did it from his kitchen. Okay, so Lincoln Harper didn't do the 5 data. Luke, I am out of touch with. I haven't heard of Luke Woodhouse. There we go. I'm a bit old school in me. I know Gary Anderson is. I know Michael Van Gerwen, Peter Wright. Now I'm struggling now. I'm struggling. No. This me listing darts players. That is when the video has gone too far. That is really me trying not to do any gardening, isn't it? Matthew Connor says, I love Hammers Chat. Living in Australia it helps me feel connected to the club. Matthew, mate, thank you. You're the second person that said that. Peter, who wrote the letter, said that as well, who's up in Derbyshire, obviously not quite Australia. Excuse me. Oh, hold on. Sugar-free blackcurrant, don't worry. Matthew, you're very welcome, mate. And I hope things in Australia are well. I hope you're all right down there. We know a few people from all over the world because of this who contact us. So yeah, mate. Lee says, I think I'll bring my kids to my first Hammers game once it resumes. Lee, if you do, Lee is the Evertonian fan. If you do bring your kids, you're welcome to come down the boats, mate. All right. We don't, obviously, it's not open to mass away fans, but you'll be well received. And if you're coming down with your family and your kids, you'll be very, very welcome, my friends. We've had many away fans down there, but family time. I have groups of geezers drunk in there. Well, we don't. That's me and my mates, but you know what I'm saying. But you'd be welcome. You can obviously contact us. When that'll be, I don't know. My friends, dandelions, edible from root to flower, packed full of vitamins and immunity boosters, and you don't have to grow them. I've heard it's dandelion and burdock made with dandelion. I don't know. Is it? I don't know. I tell you what, he is right about immune system now. You've got to keep your immune system boosted at the moment. That much isn't conspiracy. I tell you that much now. That is very, very true. As much as you can. Got to have zinc with vitamin C if you're having it, because that helps the vitamin C work. And if you can get a bit of sunshine, do, because the vitamin D, if you can't get some vitamin D supplements, sunshine's obviously, don't burn yourself or get skin cancer or anything like that. Take care of your skin, but you've got to get some vitamin D. That's very, very important. Blimey, you lot are chatting a lot. So am I. What's your highest rate you done at snooker? I presume he's not asking me. Wouldn't be high. Wouldn't be high. I can't, since I've got glasses, I can't play pool. You realise why Dennis Taylor, because when you look down like that, and I was having to put my glasses, like, you understand why I have bigger glasses. And I can't wear contact lenses. Excuse me, because I can't touch my eyeballs. Get a bit squeamish, you know what I mean? But I'm not a man's man, am I? I'm scared of heights. I can't touch my eyeballs. And I'd rather not shovel some dirt. Right, I think with that in mind, particularly as I'm going horse, I'll answer this from Mark Scott Dens. Sorry, Dennis. Sorry if I've pronounced that wrong, Mark. Excuse me. He says, when are you and Gio playing next FIFA game? We played it last night. We played it yesterday. And that will be uploaded, I don't know, next couple of days. I've got to edit it. We did play another one. I don't know if you've been watching. We've been doing our little league, and we've been trying to get our league up there. We had some really good games yesterday. We didn't record them because we're trying to get up to the higher division where we both play on the same team. But we had some really competitive games yesterday. We did get promoted just in the end, but it was a really good game. We played two other geezers who were playing as Leicester. We both had a geezer sent off. There was both a penalty. In fact, we had two penalties. We won 2-1, and Gio scored both the penalties. Gio won both the penalties, to be fair. I hacked them down for their penalty. But it was really competitive, and we played another team before that, which we needed to win the title, and they were Watford, and they beat us. They beat us. It was really competitive. So we're moving up to a higher level now. So those games are really competitive. Should be really, really good. I'm actually looking forward to playing them. It's quite good, actually. Quite good fun. Keeps you busy. But myself and Gio playing against each other. I'm Burnley. He's West Ham. We had to replay it because I didn't record it the first time, which was a massive shame because that was a good game to record. My fault. Totally my fault. Michael Melly says, Gonzo, I love your Hammers shirt. Any idea where the Belfast lads got it done? I don't, Michael. But I'll tell you what, I mean, there'll be, Peter, anyone from Belfast Hammers who's watching this, can you let me know? Send me a text message, WhatsApp, email. Let me know where you got these done. Because Michael wants to know. We'll find out for you, Michael. All right. And then once I know, I'll let you know, in the description, or I'll mention it on another one. Hammer Down Under says, remember, alcohol kills viruses. Cheers. I'm not sure it does, by the way. So just so you know. High dosage of vitamin C is being used in cancer therapy, also fighting this bug, says Nigel. Simon says, I don't always watch you, but I hear you while prepping and cooking in the kitchen. So thanks for the company, Gons. And he likes a shirt. Oh, mate, good luck with the cooking, Simon. Good luck with the cooking, my friend. I'm sure it's something very nice. No doubt about that. It must be if he's prepping it. Otherwise, we'd just rubbish. He'd just be cooking it, wouldn't he? What else have we got here? Dandelion and burdock used to be made from fermented dandelions with added root and spices, kind of cross between mead, not beer. These days, all flavourings. Chris, you are a font of knowledge, my friend. A font of knowledge. Well, I quite like that stuff. I like that. That's a man who knows his stuff. Dandelions also have magnesium and zinc, as well as A, B, C, and D, says Farcanel. Okay. There we go. This is good stuff. We are learning. I feel everybody might be a little healthier after this. You'll know the earth is curved, and you'll be more aware of where to get your vitamins from, which you didn't expect that when you tuned in. You thought it was just about the Premier League season being void, didn't you? In all honesty, I prefer the waffling parts to the football parts. But there we go. TJ's talking about DiCanio and Bobby Moore. I must have missed something there. He's going now. He says, thanks, Gons. I'm going. You're very welcome. Big up to Belfast Hammers, says Swissport. Forever playing bubbles. Have you ever got a 180 in darts? I don't know if he's asking me or he's asking someone else. So it's hard to know if the conversations have had. No, I've got a 140. A two track. Yeah. I've got a 140. I don't think I've ever got a 180. That's it, really. I'm all right. Listen, most people would beat me. I wouldn't say darts is something I'm particularly good at. Lincoln says, been watching lots of highlights from the early 90s when I had a season ticket in the South Bank and the North. He had a season ticket in the South Bank and the North Bank. Lucky man. He had two. He missed those days on the terraces. Yeah, good days. I was talking to Nigel Carney the other day about a lot of that stuff. He's a man you can talk to for a long time about West Ham, I can tell you. We'll try and excuse me, we'll try and get him on sooner rather than later. If you go and look on this channel and type in on the search bar on this channel Retro Hammers, go back, you'll see some old stuff. You like it. He's good. Nigel's good. He's the West Ham historian. He does all the tours as well. Takes from original Thames Ironworks sites. I guess he's not at the moment, clearly, but and he's got a couple of projects in the offing as well. So yeah, that's nice. A good man, Nigel. A very he just knows his stuff. Knows his West Ham stuff. Amazing how long these shows go on for when there's compost waiting to be done. Yes, Neil, it is funny. It is funny how long it drags on for when there's work to be done. I'm gonna have to go and do it, aren't I? Thanks for all the content. Gonzo says, spell that. Curvanord. I'm always reticent to read a name because I know how you cheeky lot have caught me up many times. Thanks for all the content. Keeps me sane in a mad world. Listen, you're very welcome. Please do keep sane. And I appreciate everyone. I've not done a live one for a little while because in a cup of tea I don't read the comments. I still have to say it. People still as people say afterwards, they left a message in for me in the comments in the cup of tea. I don't read them. I can do this. I can talk to the camera and I can talk to the chat. But I can't talk to Geo, the camera, and the chat. It's too much. I get too distracted on a cup of tea. It's just the only chance I really get to interact with you. So, is Len's second team still free? Yes, it is. Yes, it is free. Okay, go on, Andy. Go onto his thing. Go onto his Twitter at Canning Town Len. Go and have a look, mate. I spoke to him only yesterday, actually, and he's got other irons in the fire as well at the moment. Another good man. And where are we? Oi, Ducky, do you have many cats shitting in your garden? No. I've got dogs. Not shit. No, they don't. Fortunately, they don't. But don't cats bury it anyway? I don't think so. That's no. I do get squirrels running on the top of the man cave though. And a fat pigeon often lands on here. But that's fine. They're welcome. I mean, really, it was their garden in the first place, wasn't it? You look like Repka. I do, don't I? Says Lee. I do look a bit nasty. Red card Repka. Have you recovered from the Toon madness the other day? I'm fine. To be fair, it gave me a lot of material. It was fine. Honestly, I didn't. I put myself out there. I'm going to have to take a certain amount of stick. I was absolutely fine to and you know what? I gave a bit back as well. So it is what I did find amazing about all that. It's amazing how, looking. I don't think every Newcastle fan is like that, by the way. I don't think that's sort of worst of Newcastle fans on there. But it's amazing how all common decency will go out the window if you just think that your club can have a chance of going and whatever, competing in the Champions League. A whiff of success in the nostrils. I can turn people absolutely mad. As I say, death wishes and coronavirus on me, having a pop in my house and my appearance. I was crazy, really. But to be fair, it was funny when I click on that poll and he was having a pop at me, and some of the stuff he was writing was bad, And I clicked on his video. Oh no, look at this geezer. I don't know if you watched the end of yesterday's video. I know people watch the start. If you watch the end of the video, I conclude the end of the video with him playing guitar and him pulling in his tummy. It was quite fun. I quite enjoyed it, actually. It did me a favour in the long run. Hello, Ray. Ray Sheehan there. Christopher Perry says, have you noticed it's getting dark outside? I tell you what, I'm lazy, and I'm a staller. Joan, bye. Gonzo, goodbye, Joan. You take care of yourself. Enjoy your lunch. You see your wife in the window there, Gonzo. Lincoln says football is not happening. Said Chills. Sorry, Chills. Sorry you're late to the party there. I'll read out your thing. They said won't even let us work. Never mind, let footballs run around. In a contact sport, it's absolutely right. Gonzo, any idea of you collecting ideas for lyrics from subscribers for a funny West Ham lockdown song? No politics. And we've got enough. I'll make a song and put it on video. Look, I mean, listen, I don't mind doing any of that. I've come so close to doing a couple of songs in here, mate, to be perfectly honest with you. If you want to, if you haven't got my number, mate, if you haven't got my number, you know how to contact me on the email, on the Gonzo at Hammers Chat, GonzoHammersChat@gmail.com. Contact me on that, mate. If you have, you might have my number. I'm not sure. If not, then we can do so. I do want to get some songs. I do. I was going to do a massive. I want to do a few parody songs anyway. We're going to be sitting in it for ages. Hammerdown I've just got kangaroos. He's shitting in his garden and possums chewing through the walls at the moment. Well, I don't have that. That is not a problem I have here. Oh dear. Sun's out. Enjoy your day. I will. I'm going out there. Get me vitamin D in a minute. Really missing swearing. Top job, Gonzo, as ever. Really appreciate it. And yours and Gio's hard work. Bye all. Stay safe. Thank you, Rick. Andy. Andy knows a Geordie who plays guitar. Maybe he could do our song. I got a couple of guitars. I'm not. I can play about 5 chords, which is probably 5 more than Paul. Boom, boom. So I was thinking of doing a little parody of Paul. Boing, boing, boing. I love the way he gets his face or gets it. Boing, boing, and he gets really into it. Doesn't he? Oh, it was brilliant. It was. I'll tell you what. Oh, it was. It really did make me laugh. Where are we? Jonathan Giles, last message, last one I'm reading, then I'm going. Hi there, Everton fan here. Just wondering, do you think your big players, example Rice, for example, do you think your big players will be sold? I don't. I don't think anyone's got any money, quite frankly. I'm just sorry, I said that was the last one. Paul Hobday, thanks for keeping us entertained. Gone these very dark days. Paul, take care, mate. You comment on every video, doesn't go unnoticed, mate. Thank you very much. I always read all the comments, by the way. I always can't reply to everyone, which is basically a measure of how many views they're getting and the support that this channel gets. That I just cannot do it. So we thank you from everyone at Hammers Chat for all your comments. Read through all of them on every single video. Thank you. And he said, "Don't do the gut bit." When he pulls in his gut, I won't. To be fair, I'm not quite as slender as Paul. Andy, I wouldn't want to. You can hear it. Mine's like a drum, really. I better go and work some of it off in the garden. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, bless you all. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you really soon. Join me and Gio later. We'll be doing a video 4:30. Not a lot of time to do the gardening, really, particularly by the time I've eaten 2 bowls of Frosties. John, is that Cave? Cavelli? No, Caver. John, I'm so sorry. I don't pronounce it. Cavell? I don't know. Cavalli? I don't know. John, bless you. Thank you. So he said, Gonzo, you're getting me through this. Thank you. He's not saying that after I just slaughtered his surname. John, I do apologise. Everyone in the chat, like, subscribe if you're new or old. Next to the subscribe button, check under your device now. Press the bell. I'm off. I'm going. Take care, everybody. Be good. See you soon. See you at 4:30, maybe. If not, I'll upload again tomorrow. Enjoy your day. Take your vitamins, don't forget as well. Try and press end stream. Yes, I'm ending the stream. See you later.